Hey everybody. Okay, so I just wanted to do a video about some of the problems that I see and wondering if some of the things that I think may be solutions are doable. Some of them may be real easy to take care of. They should be real easy to take care of. And then I'm also going to mention maybe, something that I think Uber might be able to pull off that would help everybody. Not going to help everyone because not everyone's going to be able to do that. But anyways, here are some of the things that I see. One of my main issues is ending up with rides that are break even or barely any profit at all or no profit at all. You lose money. And it's being compounded by gas prices. Today is, I believe it's the 20th of March, 2022. So gas prices in my area, it just went down the last day, actually. Seemed to have gone down maybe a dime, 10 cents a gallon, which is always great to see it go in the other direction, but let's not fool ourselves. $4.10 a gallon is still ridiculous. I'm not here to talk about fuel prices, though. It does have something to do with what I'm talking about, but I can't solve that problem. But here's the thing. The easy fix. There should be a minimum amount, and I'm sure there is, but it must be in the $4 range for a minimum price on a ride. But those should be very short rides, and they shouldn't be on multiple stop rides. In other words, I'll get a request that I take someone down to the liquor store a mile and a half away. I take them down. I sit in the car for 5 to 10 minutes and wait for them to come back. And then I take them a mile and a half back to their place. And, I make things like $6. And the time that elapsed was maybe a half an hour. Now, if it's just a drop off from one place to another, drop off, regular, fare, that's enough money. That's fair. But when you spend 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes on a ride that has a stop included, the fares need to be adjusted, because it is a kick in the stomach when you've spent a half an hour with a customer and you make $6. That can't happen. That's an easy adjustment. Those fares need to be higher. So let's talk about what Uber has done. In my area, I know that we have received a bit of help from Uber in the form of a 55-cent charge per trip to the customer to help make up for gas prices. Have you ever gotten a present from a loved one that just absolutely sucked? I mean, it sucked. But you love that person and you're a nice person, and so you want to be nice back and you say thank you. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with Uber right now. Uber, thank you. Thank you for that 55 cents. Well, now let's talk reality. That does almost nothing. It's close to nothing. I actually compare it to something that I heard last summer. They've, you know, the government has been working on another, another check for the American people. For some reason, I can't think of stimulus check. And we had a politician, her last name is Pelosi. And Pelosi was trying to put together a deal. And from what's reported on, it seems as though Pelosi is the world's best foot dragger in the government. And there is some world-class foot draggers in the government. But Pelosi said something to the effect of, I don't mind putting this into a quote, it may not be exact, but basically she said $300 is a substantial amount for the Americans that will make a big difference in their lives. $300 out of the mouth of a multi-millionaire who is being paid an excellent wage for what she does. But when most Americans heard that, who actually did need help and did need a stimulus and we're still waiting, that was a kick in the gut. Because we all know that $300 isn't substantial. It's really just a slap in the face. How dare she say that that's a substantial amount for every person? And really, how dare Uber say that 55 cents over, a week's time is going to get you $20 more or $30 more or $33, whatever the hell it was. They used an example. That's like getting a present from a loved one that absolutely sucks. It's a present. It does get you a little bit more, but it doesn't solve the issue of whether we're actually able to make a living out here. The gas prices are still killing us. I looked into one issue. So here's what I think. 7 minutes and I barely said anything. I'm sorry. I do ramble. But here's what I think. Every trip needs to be a moneymaker. And if Uber is concerned about losing people, then maybe they should reevaluate whether they are getting a little bit too much of the gravy. They're getting a little bit too much money every time someone goes out. I'm thinking it's around a third. Sorry that I don't know the exact amount, but I think they take a third of the fare. We all signed up for Uber. We all knew that. And so it's not really fair to complain about that. But the fact of the matter is that does seem a little greedy for a company that doesn't have any real tangible skin in the game on each of these fares, right? It's technology, and yes, there's money that you pay to upgrade technology. I understand that, but could it be possible that Uber is just making too much money, too much gravy? I gotta wonder that. And I think you obviously can't take more from the drivers because you're not going to end up having any more drivers. Most people get into this and they almost realize it's like when you get involved with an MLM and after 2 years of working really, really hard, you realize you haven't made anything. Well, that's kind of the experience with Uber. You give it a go, but for a lot of people, they end up quitting because they just realize they can't make any money. Come on, that's a problem. How is that sustainable? How is that going to keep Uber sustainable and growing? I mean, sure, if they want to take the Uber product itself and not have it anymore and then sell the technology to other companies that can use that, because I know that that's one of the ways they've made a lot of their money, then just do that. Maybe Uber taxis or rideshare was just a bad idea. You either make it good and you make it work, or throw in the towel and let the taxis come back. But I gotta ask, maybe it's just you're getting a little bit too much gravy? And if you actually gave a little up, you'd actually gain that much more and more back, because you'd have more Uber drivers driving more, making more fares. And so anyways, that's one that I think needs to be fixed right away. It's pretty simple. Here's the other thing that I thought of. I got an email a couple weeks ago, and it said, rent a car through a car company with a special program that we have with them. The one I had was Hertz. I don't know if it's different in other places, but the one that in my email was Hertz rental car. And you could rent a car for as low as $250 a week. Let's see. I own my car now. I pay less than half of that. And I don't know if I can stay with Uber because it's barely any profit. Am I going to rent a car for $1,000 a month? $1,000 a month? If I did that, I would be losing money. I work this full time right now. I'm out there at least 10 hours a day. How, if I can't make that work, I'd like to meet the geniuses who are making it work. I know there are some who make that work, but they must be in areas where the demand is high, and you're just, you're making that much more. I make a pretty good weekly amount. The problem is that it's all, it's all eaten up by gas and the gas prices. Even before they went up these past couple weeks, it wasn't good. It was bad. Now it's just downright sucks, right? So here's my idea. Wouldn't it be nice if Uber could actually use their partnerships and get a reasonable monthly rental from a car dealership? But better than that, what if they were electric cars? Now, if I could, for instance, rent an electric car, a Hertz electric vehicle, I would probably put the 500, 600, 700, I don't know how much it is. I think it's around there. I have looked it up. I want to say it's going to be, in today's prices, probably around $600-700 to have an electrician come to your home and to just do the hookup, right? So that you can plug your car in. I would do that if I had a reasonable rental from a car company who offered electric vehicles to Uber drivers. I would imagine I could pay a little bit more than I pay for my personal vehicle monthly, and that would still work out because of the savings in money for switching from gas to electric. But that has to be reasonable. It's got to be impactful to a lot of Uber drivers for that to work. So will that be as low as $250 a week? No. I don't understand who can make that work. I don't get it. It's got to be, if I paid $700 a month or $650, $700 a month, tops for an electric vehicle, I might be able to save enough money to make that work. But they've got to do something big, because right now they are bleeding, and they are bleeding dry, and their drivers are bleeding dry. We all feel it. It's got to be something substantial. I don't know. Does Uber have now a board of directors? I'm sure they do, right? It's a huge company. The problem is, with them taking less, That just doesn't happen in today's business world. No, board of directors group is going to approve, slashing into their profits. Or maybe the company needs a new board of directors. Ones that see a major problem and a fix that could still make the company profitable. Maybe not quite the speed that they were at when they became the quickest to $1 billion. But they need to do something substantial. What are your ideas for, something that they could do in order to make things better? I'd love to hear in your comments, or even watch videos of people and their suggestions for what Uber could do. Because we're the soldiers. We're the frontline soldiers of this company. The ideas we have and the observations that we have, those are the ones that are actually going to work. The for instance, 55-cent surcharge for gasoline that somebody came up with from a think tank at Uber. What a waste if it doesn't work. And guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't. So I hope you guys didn't spend a lot of time on that and a lot of money, because that solution is a failure. Come on. We're all grown adults here. We live in the real world. We need real solutions for the problems that we have as drivers. And Uber needs to come up with those. They need to come up with those. So leave a comment. What are your ideas to be more successful? Things that Uber could do for us drivers to be more successful. I'd like to hear that. Talk to you soon.